Hello, I'm Ruturaj Shinde. I am Masters in International Business by educational qualification. Yet at heart, I am an artist. I am a professional actor, recently turned into a producer and a creative director. And I've been practicing art of living since quite a few years, which has brought some amazing change in my life as well as people around me.
Hello, I'm Parth. I am a data scientist by profession. I play cricket professionally, and also I'm an art of living teacher and volunteer since long time. And here I'm sitting with two wonderful humans and an amazing and beautiful beings.
My name is Dinesh Ghodke. I studied from IIT Bombay and I did my metallurgy in material science. Thereafter, I worked with Infosys for a couple of years. In my second year in IIT, I underwent the Art of Living program, and that really transformed life. Life became so much more beautiful and powerful, and the ability to make a difference to others, I sort of discovered, and I thoroughly enjoyed that process. So I became a teacher. I have been teaching last 30 years almost in more than 45 countries. We have written, along with my teacher, Khurshid Batliwala, popularly called Baba, we have written 3 books which have helped students, teachers, parents all over the world. First is Ready, Study, Go. Yeah, that's about studying, how to make the process of studying enjoyable. Yeah. Second one is Happiness Express. Yeah. And the third was Sleep Your Way to Success. And I love teaching meditation and conducting the Art of Living programs and really engaging people in something meaningful and wonderful.
We are really blessed to have you as a guest in today's podcast, and we would really like to know a lot of things in detail. I would like Parth to start with the podcast.
What is a story from your life that represents the essence of who you are?
So I had just, I like to usually say that I started with IIT and had dropped a little bit of I and I went into IT and then dropped more of the I and became a teacher. I had just started organizing and assisting programs, getting people to understand themselves, get to know themselves through meditation. And I remember, of course, my parents loved the program. My brother, my sister, they, enjoyed the program. It made a huge difference to who they were and what they were doing. But then a point came when parents felt, oh, he's going too much into this. Yeah, alarm bells started to ring for them. Usually a middle class family, they want their son to get married and have children and do a job and all that. And I was doing very unconventional things. So I remember the story about my brother's wedding. My entire extended family, they cornered me literally. My mama, mommy, my grandfather, my parents were there, mute observers, and they said, "What is this? What are you going to do for the rest of your life?" I said, "Yes." Yeah, you're going to teach people how to breathe. I said, "Yes." So they said, "We will get you out of art of living. We'll get you out of spirituality." I said, "You may get me out of spirituality, but you cannot get spirituality out of me. You cannot get art of living out of me." And somehow after that 1 hour of showdown and drama and crying and tempers flying and whatever, I was quite amazed at how I could just maintain my calm. I could answer all of them with a lot of love. I could understand where they are coming from. At the same time, I was firm to my stand, saying, this is what I would love to do in my life. So that is, in a way, the essence, that I want to do something for the world, for the people. And there will be obstacles. People will doubt you. They will question your motives. All sorts of obstacles will come, but they only make the whole outcome more glorious.
Really optimistic perspective towards this roller coaster ride. Yeah. How do you define success in life as?
I would like to say that there is success in life, in the world, and success in living. So success in the world, in the outer world, so to speak, is having lots of money, having a great job with a lot of perks, or having your own startup, your business, all of that, the usual metrics with which the world sort of judges you, assesses you. That would be an outer kind of success. But I feel an inner success where having all of this, if you can smile, if you can be at peace with yourself, if you can sleep a good night's sleep in the night, if you are healthy, having lots of money, a big bank balance, but ulcers in your stomach, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. What's the point? Having so much of fame, but if you want to just go out for a walk, you cannot. I don't see that as being truly successful. Or having so much of power, but no time for the things that you love. Maybe your loved ones, or for the world to be able to use that power, fame, money, the riches to give back to the world. Yeah. So I feel success is having all of this with a smile, with the ability to give back, to make our surroundings, the people around us, more beautiful, richer in that sense. Yeah, add value to their lives. So in a funny way, we used to say that there are two kinds of people in the world. One is whenever they go, there is happiness. And the second is wherever they go, there is happiness. Yeah. So I would say success would be the second, the latter variety, where wherever you go, there is joy, there is celebration. People are happy. You say, yes, आपले तर म्हणतो ना आपण साधू संत येती घरा तोची दिवाळी दसरा. So whenever you go somewhere, let that be a festive atmosphere.
So conventional success is now it has become obsolete, I believe. But yet we live in a capitalist society, and we need money to survive and buy things. And even few people say that when you have money, after that, I mean, after earning some great amount, then you can think of other things. So how do you think this terminology is?
Definitely. See, traditionally, or you can say India, so to speak, in India, our values, we were never against money, isn't it? We said Lakshmi.
Yes.
Yeah? In fact, Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, he was addressing a big gathering in Mumbai, and he said, Lakshmi ko humne dasi ka stan diya hai, usko to Mahalakshmi ka stan dena chahiye. That event was happening in Mahalakshmi. Isn't that true? A parent will be so proud saying, my son is working in a government office, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, whatever, but they will not be as open or forthcoming to say, my son is a businessman. So somehow it is looked down upon, money, and we use all sorts of terminology for a rich person. Oh, filthy rich, obscenely rich. Now I feel our language also conveys our relationship with money. In India we say Lakshmi. See, and Lakshmi and Narayana, they go together. So spirituality and materialism, it always went together. So it was not, money was never looked anti-spiritual or the other way around. Do you see that? So I feel both of them, they go together. Lakshmi and Narayana are happily married. Don't try to divorce them. This is not our ideals. It could be Western, philosophy, the vow of poverty, if you are spiritual and all that. Not necessarily. You have all of that, and you have those riches or whatever. You use that to make a difference. That is important.
Eye-opening perspective.
Yeah, that is where we say, Lakshmi is serving Narayana. Now people say, oh, women, are they always supposed to serve the man? That's not the idea. The symbolism behind this is the money should be serving good values in society, in your life and in society. Yeah, it should serve spirituality. Are you uplifted spiritually? Is your spirit richer? Yeah, because you have money, you have power, you have fame, whatever. We say Ashtalakshmi, not just Dhanalakshmi is one part of it. But having that, is that serving you to grow spiritually? That is the important question.
What core values guide your decision and actions?
I would like to say sadhana, seva, and satsang. Sadhana is our daily spiritual practices, something that gets you to be in yourself, so that whatever challenges life throws at us, we can actually use them to grow stronger, grow more wiser, instead of they pulling us down somehow. So this is one thing, that is sadhana. Sadhana is knowing that you are the source of all the joy, all the love, all the peace that we usually tend to seek outside in the world. Isn't it? So sadhan, that wealth which will be with you forever. Second is seva, using whatever we have been blessed with to make a difference to people around us, to make a difference to the world. Yeah? That is important. And the third that guides my life, whatever I do, is satsang, the good company. In fact, a lot of research has happened in the last few decades, and they have seen that the people who have lived longest around the world and have lived happier lives, first and foremost among in their lives, was one factor, and that was the meaningful social connections that they have. Yeah, the amount of meaningful social connections. Yeah. Here we say satsang. Yeah, that company which uplifts you, doesn't pull you down, it uplifts you. Yeah, where you rejoice. Somehow we are so connected in this age of information. Everything is at the touch of a button. It's at your fingertips. But we have moved away from people somehow. The loneliness, the amount of depression, it has skyrocketed. On one side, depression, on the other side, aggression and violence. This meaningful social connections, yeah, that is what I would say is satsang. So creating those kind of happier, joyful communities which think and which act towards something conducive for people and for the planet. That is important, I feel.
Very well answered. It really, I think, adds value. I mean, even understanding life in a better way or in a different perspective. I think nowadays, like everyone has like how conventional things were in a way, or as you mentioned that we have an influence of Western living or philosophy or way of life. Even I can relate to few things that how it has impacted ourselves. This also helps us measure the depth, that what kind of depth we are in. I mean, how deep still the water is and where we are. I would like to know from you, as you just mentioned that Sadhu Sant Yeti Ghara Tochi Diwali Dasara. So, any specific shlokas that suggests how a human should deal while taking any specific financial decision?
There is a law of Lakshmi. Say, Udyoginam Purusha Simha Upaiti Lakshmi. Meaning, when can Lakshmi come to you? When you are Udyogi, when you are hardworking, when you are industrious. You may be extremely talented, but if you don't do anything, just sit thinking, oh, it's in my fate, it's in my destiny, or whatever. Yeah, Lakshmi is not going to come to you. So she loves somebody being industrious. Okay, so Udyoginam, being Udyogi. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar also says it very nicely. He says, Yogi bano, Udyogi bano. Dono hona chahiye. So Udyoginam Purusha Simha Upaiti Lakshmi, meaning Purusha Simha, having that confidence of a lion. I have seen in my travels around the world, even in villages, sometimes there was this one lady, old lady, and she was selling handkerchiefs. Yeah, she would make at home, embroidery with them at the corners, and when I said, okay, why would somebody buy from you? Aapse kyun lenge? So she said, she gave like 12 things. What is so special about her handkerchiefs? Made with so much of love, and the material and this and that. And I said, wow, just listening to her, I said, okay, I'm going to buy some from you. So that confidence of her, so whatever you do doesn't matter, have the confidence that you are giving the best, you are adding a value to people's lives. Yeah. Like sometimes old people have said, even if you are selling vada pav, your vada pav should be such that somebody will fly in from London to, have at your place. Something like that. Yeah. So, Udyoginam Purusha Simha Upaiti Lakshmi. So, being hardworking and having the confidence of a lion. Yeah. Couple more things is she loves cleanliness. That's why Lakshmi will sit on Kamal. This is Kamal, jahan mal nahi hai. So, not just outer cleanliness, but inner cleanliness, cleanliness of thoughts, purity of our actions, our thoughts. That is important. You will say, oh, but there are so many people, think all sorts of things. They have money. They may have money, but they don't have the joy, the bliss that comes with money. As I said, it's an Ashtalakshmi. Money is just one part of it. Yeah? So when you have that cleanliness, that purity outside and inside, then Lakshmi also comes. And lastly, as I said earlier, when you do seva, little bit of your income, when you also give for charity, when you do good with that to others, then you are blessed with more. I'm reminded of a story of Gurudev's. There was a satsang going on, and Gurudev had, somebody had given a lot of chocolates or something was there, some sweets were there, and a little kid came up to Gurudev. So Gurudev gave him a handful of those chocolates, and the little kid must have been 5 or 6 years old. He went around and he started distributing. He gave one to people, and then he came back to Gurudev. So Gurudev gave him another handful, like that. This kid again very happily, joyfully went and gave one to big satsang. Then he again came, and Gurudev again gave. So one guy sitting on Gurudev's side, he said, Gurudev, वो बार-बार आ रहा है, आप कितनी बार दोगे? Gurudev said, जब तक वो बांटता रहेगा, तब तक मैं देता रहूंगा. Yeah. So I feel that nature or God must also be thinking the same. Yeah. Why should I give this person money? Oh, he's doing something wonderful with it. He's doing something good with it. He's sharing what he's being blessed with. So I'll bless him more or her more. Using that wealth that we have to do good to society, that will also ensure that we'll be blessed with more.
I think everything, whatever you say, I think it becomes like a cult of what we should get, submerged into and then think of it and then be there. That's what I feel like.
It is said, no, Guru's Vakya.
Yes.
I've heard all these from Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar. Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam. So the Guru's words are like powerful mantras. Whenever you are low or down or in need of help, the Guru's words, his Vani will, echo in your mind, and it'll make you sail through difficult times.
We just need to be receptive for that.
That's
open
right.
and receptive.
Absolutely.
Even for that, I think one needs to be capable, I believe. That maybe.
We have the capability, yes, but as we said, no, you say, I want to have sunlight. Well, at least from our side, we'll have to open the curtains, open the windows. Yeah, that is what, as you said, being open.
We even have wisdom to get that knowledge or whatever insight at least.
Yes.
I think meditation helps us to understand a few things. Naturally, few things come to us, like we understand. Yet, I think meditation and sadhana, seva, and satsang, I think.
Absolutely. The more regularly we meditate, the more things that are covering that aspect of us, which is, joy and bliss and light that is there, Satchidananda Swaroop. Yeah, that is covered by all this mala, vikshepa, avarana. Yeah, so sadhana, what it does, it cleanses all that. Yeah, so your true nature shines forth.
Nowadays, parents are okay when kids go for a parties in clubs and do social drinking, but they warn their kids by saying spirituality shouldn't be started at an early age. What is your advice to those parents who have such kind of mentality?
Well, they have to pay for it later on then. When they suddenly realize that, oh, my kids are, it starts off with social drinking, yeah, with a little bit of peer pressure. Arey ek sutta, arey theek hai, ek glass kya farak padta hai? And then it doesn't stop there. It just goes out of control, And then so many parents come and say, oh, but how do we handle our children now? They don't have any direction in life. And I say that is where spirituality comes in. Spirituality is the answer. And the earlier you start in life, the better it is. In earlier times, when the child would start his spiritual wisdom, spiritual journey, that used to be called second birth, Dvija. However we are born, doesn't matter. There was a classification, Shudra or Vaishya or Kshatriya, Brahmana. Yeah? But it is said, Janmano Jayate Shudra. Yeah, we were all born Shudras because we were dependent on others, isn't it? Yeah. But Karmano Dvija Muchyate. Through your karma, through your actions, you become a Dvija. Dvija meaning you become a wise being. So Dvija is second born. That is when your spiritual wisdom starts, and the earlier the better, because that lays a solid foundation in life. Like this mother goes to a spiritual, a saint, and says, when do you think should I start their spiritual education? So he asks, so how old are they? So they're twins, they're 5 years old. Oh, he says they're 5 years late. In our tradition, it starts in the womb itself. When the mother undergoes either meditation, gyan, dhyan, some listening to knowledge, that the baby in the womb, the fetus recognizes. Yeah, it also absorbs that. Yeah, and that's why we have the stories of Abhimanyu hearing about the Chakravyuh, or sage Ashtavakra in the mother's womb. He had all the knowledge that his father was talking about. So that is where I feel it should start.
Nowadays, I think Garbha Sanskara also is like few things, maybe in a nutshell, it could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yet it is like commonly known as that.
That's right. That's right. So when the mother is soaked in these kind of vibrations, then the baby, the soul that flourishes, comes forth. That is that will give santan sukh. Otherwise, yes, children, you just give them a lot of money, but without the spiritual values, then it will not be a powerful or sustainable way of living a happier life. So yes, parents do get little scared. Oh, अरे ये ध्यान में जाएगा, इसमें जाएगा, अध्यात्म में जाएगा तो साधु बन जाएगा. Not necessarily. Yeah. Besides, at least I can talk about the art of living. We say there's such a beautiful balance. You do what you want to do. Yeah, you could be an IAS officer, you could be, the best doctor, you could be an artist, you could be a housewife, you could be a farmer. But adding this element of spirituality, you make your life better, as we say, Vyakti Vikas, and you make the surroundings, you make the society better, Divya Samaj. So both happens. Vyakti ka vikas bhi hota hai, Divya Samaj bhi hota hai, aapki wajah se.
I just thought of something which just came to my mind. When I was not that young, though, I was doing a master's, I think. And it was my first time when I wanted to start or take a meditation course. It was a 10 days meditation course. It was a silence 10-day course, Vipassana. So when I just conveyed I was a bit further from there. I was in the UK. So I conveyed them that in India only I wanted to do long ago, but due to some reasons it got delayed, it got cancelled and stuff. So I conveyed them that I'm taking a course. So from today onwards, 10-11 days, I won't be in connect with you. So they were surprised. They were also a bit scared. They might have not shown it directly, but they were saying that no need. Why are you doing this? So they thought, is there something wrong? People started asking. I said, no, I wanted to experience it. I mean, of course, I'll get it in my own capacities. I'll interpret that. Let me see how I understand. And then there were a few people in the course. After the course, we met up 11th day when we started talking. Said that in such a quite young age you are doing this course. We are really glad. Jo hum kar rahe hai, is it definitely right or something like that? But when we get guidance from people like you, or I think when everyone gets to know about spirituality and how younger age. Now, when you said that it starts in mother's womb, then we started realizing that.
And my mother used to jokingly say that समाजाच्या उद्धारासाठी ज्ञानेश्वरांनी संतांनी जन्म घेतला पाहिजे, पण माझ्या घरी नको, बाजूच्या घरी. But as they see the difference or the influence and the impact that you are creating through your meditations, through your seva, then they also feel a sense of pride. Yes, my son or my daughter is doing a wonderful job, and they have all our blessings and support.
Starting from within, I think they might be seeing the change in.
Yeah.
In the same context, usually to take any decisions, usually kids, I mean, they have some issues with their parents because their parents don't listen to them. Like they say, तुम्हें ये ऐसा नहीं करना, तुम्हें ऐसा करना है. And then kids say, but ये आपके generation की बात है. So how usually the kids should deal with that generation gap, and also the parents?
I'll tell you two instances when we used to teach the Yes Plus programs of the Art of Living, the youth empowerment and skills workshops. They were so popular. I mean, they are so popular in campuses and colleges, universities around the world. So this one kid, he had put his mother's name, he had saved it on his phone as Yeto Yeto. So whenever she picked, Yeto Yeto. So yes, parents are always wanting, to control or to decide what, the kid is going to do. And the funniest was another kid, he had put his mother's name as don't. Because whatever you ask him, they say don't. So this is another thing Gurudev says, that you should never use so much of negative words in your language, in your vocabulary. Otherwise, all the time, a child does anything, say, don't do this, don't do this. Yeah, don't. Turn that around and say, okay, why don't you do this? Yeah, instead of going into that negative words and vocabulary, you should say, why don't you do this? Yeah, do this. So that is important as parents for us to understand that once the children are old enough to get into your chappals, into your footwear, then you consider them as friends, not as kids to, control till they are 40, 50, doesn't matter. Oh, they are anyways will be kids to me. And no, yeah, you have to understand the changing mindset, yeah, and be friends to them. That even when Krishna was giving the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, he said, as a friend he gave. He said, you are so dear to me, that's why I'm giving you this knowledge. So he understood the psyche of Arjuna. Similarly, the parents have to understand the psyche of their children. How best to give what you want to give. How best to mold their lives, yeah, add values or enrich, yeah, their lives. The parents have to understand. And this understanding comes with regular sadhana also, with spiritual wisdom, with knowledge. And that is spirituality, that which enhances the spirit.
And what about the kids? Usually kids say it's parents' mistake, like they don't understand us. But it's sometimes other way around as well.
Of course, it is both ways. Yeah. And that is where introduction of spiritual values at a younger age, the younger the better, is important. Though, having said that, one mother was saying, Gurudev, you have courses for all age groups. Right from 7 years old, you have the Art Excel program or the Pragya Yoga and all of that. Then for the elderly, the elder kids, Yes course, Yes Plus course, Youth Empowerment and Skills Workshop, the Happiness program. But what about children below 7 years? No, below 5 years, 7 years. And Gurudev smiled and said, they don't need a course. You need to learn from them. हमें उनसे सीखना है. See, children, they are so happy. They exude all the values of innocence, of friendliness, of love, unconditional. All of those they exude. Yeah, we have to learn from them. A baby, if you look at a baby will do all asanas. They will do all the mudras. Yeah. So we have to learn. Gurudev says, if you have a baby at home, you have a yogi at home. You have a yoga teacher at home. Just do what the baby does. You will be healthy, happy.